Welcome to the Adam Rothstein Hockey Podcast. This is your podcast for all things hockey. On this podcast, we talk about past history to the modern day and what you can do to grow the sport. I am your host, Adam Rothstein. All right, let's get to the show. All right, I was incredibly wrong about everything. Oh, man. And I will take back everything I said. The Panthers deserve to win the Stanley Cup. Yes, I said it. And I was so wrong. I mean, but because after everything that happened, this has been the craziest playoff run I have seen in my entire life. I don't know, out of all the big four sports, I have never seen anything like this. You know, I thought the New York Rangers were going to play the Dallas Stars, and I was wrong there. I thought I didn't think the Oilers would even get to play the Stars. I thought the Canucks were going to beat the Oilers, and I thought the Stars were going to beat the Canucks, and I thought the Rangers were going to beat the Panthers, but none of that happened. So I've been wrong on everything. I don't know how Hockey Psychology, the guy who does that YouTube channel, I don't even know what he's going to say about this. Connor McDavid just won the Conn Smythe, and the Panthers just won the Stanley Cup. We just have had a Ron Hextall situation right now where Ron Hextall won the Conn Smythe but lost the Stanley Cup. So, I mean, it's not the first time this happened, but that's what you're going to reference right now. It is 11:13 at night. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to put this out right now, but this is still going on the YouTube channel. I do feel like such a fool for putting that video out saying, you know, are we witnessing the biggest collapse ever? Apparently, we didn't even witness the biggest collapse ever. This was something else. I don't know. It was 1944. It was not 1942. 1944, the Red Wings essentially were up 3-0. Then they lost the next three games. Then they won Game 7. I believe that was actually against the Maple Leafs. Don't quote me on that. It's late at night, and I don't know, and I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure 1944 was the Red Wings. So very important Stanley Cup there for the Red Wings. Sasha Barkov stepped up. Reinhart stepped up. Carter Verhaeghe stepped up. Carter Verhaeghe, my dad said, yeah, he's going to get the first goal of the game. And apparently, he should have went to DraftKings and placed a bet on that. I do not know how he managed to do that. The ending to this game, Stuart Skinner was something else. He was just on the ice for the entire time. I don't know why the Oilers couldn't get him off. They just could not get him off. And after everything, you know, it's just incredible. It's just, absolutely incredible what they were able to do. The Panthers were able to do. I commend Edmonton for trying to come back and trying to be the first team to do that. They were arguably the closest. They were the closest team to win the Stanley Cup, not counting the 94 Vancouver Canucks. They were the first, closest team to win the Stanley Cup in 30 years. With the exception of the 94 Vancouver Canucks. That's the thing. Canada is going to go another year without bringing the cup north of the border. There is one thing I did want to talk about. Ricky Henderson and the Blue Jays back in the day in 93 won that World Series. The Canadians won the Stanley Cup back in 93 with Patrick Waugh and Claude Lemieux, I believe. Yeah, that's right, Claude Lemieux. You got that there. It's been a very long time. So 93, they get the I I think with the exception of that and the 2019 um, Raptors were really the only exception to this. And in the country of Canada, other than your CFL, I don't even know if know what MLS is doing right now. And my phone's blowing up, and I'm probably gonna wind up checking this. Everyone's, I mean, I forgot even who's, um, it was Janmark who got that goal on Bobrovsky, and I don't think he was gonna stop that. By the way, just a lucky shot, to be honest with you. Canada is one, out of all the big four sports, they have, you know, out of all this time, I mean, the Expos left in 2004, so they did not have an opportunity to win the World Series, and with the 2000 with the I'm sorry, the 94 lockout at the end of it, they certainly could have won that World Series, but didn't. And the Grizzlies moved to Memphis as well. And really, Toronto is going to be your main big for sports hub for that. And I mean, there were so many Canadian hockey teams that got in and just couldn't finish. And the Flames were probably the one that really did just make sense. Jerome McGinley just couldn't do it, and they were really close too. There were another one that was close, and then it's like, oh, geez, again, sort of thing. Yeah, the Flames couldn't do that. Senators couldn't do that. Timu Solani won that with those matted Ducks of Anaheim. So there's that, and then we go, and then then we go 4 years without another Canadian team in the Cup final, and in Vancouver again was so close. They were up 3-2 in that series. Boston takes it. Tim Thomas is the hot goaltender. He wins the Conn Smythe, and then nothing. 2012, the Devils come in and they face the Kings, and then for a long time until we have that weird Corona Cup in 21, the Canadians face off against the Lightning, and they win. So, I mean, Sunrise is going crazy right now. I'm not in Sunrise. I'm still in South Florida, but I mean, it has just been... So every single Big Four South Florida team right now, the Marlins, the Dolphins, the Heat, and the Panthers have won their respective cups. So the Panthers used to play in Miami, but they're not I would not consider them to be a Miami-based team because Sunrise is closer to Fort Lauderdale than it is Miami. So there's that. And they fly out of Fort Lauderdale, which tells you something about them. I'm probably going to wind up posting this early tomorrow, but I want to say congratulations to the Florida Panthers. And I did see a lot of booing for Gary Bettman, or enough there at Amerant Bank Arena. But oh my goodness, this game was like on their heels. I think when Reinhardt scored that second goal for Florida, I knew they were going to win this too. This was probably the one thing that I've never been. This team just I wanted to give up with this team. I feel so bad for wanting to give up, but they came back and they changed it. And I think that sends a message. When you get up and you don't give up. You really don't give up. You keep pressing and pressing and pressing, and even though you might look like a fool, even though you may have some bad takes, and if you're a YouTuber, you'll put out a video where people criticize you and say, clearly you're not an instructor, or clearly you don't know about hockey, or something, like they will nitpick you. Okay, they'll nitpick you, and I was nitpicking the Panthers, and this is a lesson that everyone should take. You know, you keep going, you prove the haters wrong, and you get, and victory is, and well, success and victory are the best types of is the best revenge. Okay, it's that simple. And and I mean, they were not getting. I don't. Connor McDavid is the best player in our generation, and but he didn't have the best team with him. And Draisaitl was looking a little off tonight, and I really did want. I actually was hoping that McDavid would get the Conn Smythe, uh, just because obviously he's the greatest player, and he gets you know more assists than Wayne Gretzky, and he gets more points on this run too than Wayne Gretzky, and when you beat a record of Wayne Gretzky's, I think you know you deserve a reward, and McDavid deserved to be the Conn Smythe winner, and if it was Bobrovsky. And had Bobrovsky won Game 5, then maybe he gets the Conn Smythe. But I mean, it also is a huge relief for Bobrovsky as well. I think that he went so long without getting back into the Cup final. Last year he got back in, and that was his second time that he was in. In 2010, I was, I didn't, I sort of wanted the Flyers to win, sort of just because I liked what Danny Briere was doing at the time, and even though I hated that, hated Philadelphia a lot. I did not want to. I didn't know much about Chicago. I did not know much about this Patrick Kane guy, or this Duncan Keith, or this Crawford, or this and all those guys too, or that Jonathan Taze character, or that Sharp guy. I didn't know about any of them, and I thought Danny Briere and Wayne Simmons, cool guys. Turns out they did not win Stanley Cups though, and Danny Briere's kid apparently once knew a teammate of mine, so back from college too. So didn't know I'd be playing with have that connection growing up. So that was interesting. Yeah, Florida once again. Congratulations too, Edmonton. I want to say congratulations to you, because you forced a Game 7 when everyone thought this was going to be a sweep, or a gentleman's sweep. You still did it. You didn't roll over like dogs. You didn't roll over like dogs. Connor McDavid deserves that Conn Smythe more than anyone else right now. And you guys, I still can't believe that Florida did it. I think, and Edmonton looked gassed at the end, and that's why Florida won. Thank you very much for watching this or listening to this. And with that being said, everyone, take care.